Hey gang, this week's Labcast is Weird Chickens and M&Ms. More to come later. So we just completed the simple inheritance learning cycle. So now we're going to move on to the complex inheritance learning cycle, which means that on the tracking sheet you have to move from simple inheritance to complex inheritance. And this week begins with a quiz. Remember, this is our first online Moodle quiz. So you go to the home site and there's a link to the Moodle page. You should already be enrolled in the course. I took the liberty of enrolling you, but if you're not, come get the password from me. So this is the link to the simple inheritance quiz. You'll take this quiz during class, and it'll need a password. So I'll make sure to give you the password next time. So you put in the password. Each day it changes, so you have to get permission in order to take the quiz. So now on to the lab of the week. We're looking at M&Ms. Love M&Ms. And what you're going to do is you're going to count the number of the different color M&Ms. So this is the form for the data, and you'll submit that form, and we'll analyze that data a little bit later. You'll learn more information in future steps. You just write in the numbers. Don't actually type in the number, so you'll write 6 or 10, etc., etc. The other thing is you are going to take a look at some weird chickens. So you're going to go through this PowerPoint presentation, and it's going to give you some information, and it's going to tell you to solve problems. So you can record the answers and your work in Punnett squares wherever you like. Just make sure you have a record of it so that you can show me. And you just follow the directions on these slides, and it tells you to solve some problems, it gives you some answers. It's going to tell you to come up with a hypothesis for things. And we'll revisit this when we learn a little bit more about complex inheritance. And finally, back to the M&Ms lab, you're going to learn a new type of statistical analysis in which we're trying to figure out, do we observe our expected data? So we're going to look more in detail into these Punnett squares, and we take a tally of our offspring, just like we took a tally of our M&Ms, and how closely do those numbers match the Punnett squares. So you're going to learn something called a Chi Square test, which is similar to the percent error test, but a lot more powerful, and it gives you a way to say whether or not the data is statistically significantly different, rather than having varying opinions. So when we get through this week's work, you should get through past step 12, and of course you can move forward if you're ready. And so I hope that was helpful, and I look forward to seeing some great work this week. Thanks, gang.